Midfield of Fernandes and
Paul
Pogba.
Pogba,
Pogba.
the
Well,
return.
okay. The first game against Spurs was. I mean, let's talk about Project Restart. Okay, I'm not gonna talk about the past.
This one is your team restart lah.
Yeah, the whole restart to
Before
win.
you continue, right? I just
Mhm.
want to state some facts. They drew when the league started again. The league restarted. They drew 1-1 with Mourinho Spurs. Then
Yep.
after that, they went on to win 3-0 against Sheffield United.
United.
Right?
Yep.
Martial
Yep.
scoring a hat trick, I think. Is it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So I just wanted to state that facts.
I mean, the Spurs game was very exciting because we finally saw the link up play between
Fernandes.
Bruno and Paul, and
All.
I feel like you see that's the thing. Like as
Your
I
friend.
mentioned, right? I'm not going to call them by their names.
Say Fernandes lah. Wait, you say Bruno Mars again.
Exactly. Now they are more like kawan already. So I'm going to call Paul and Bruno. So
Okay.
like as mentioned earlier, like the engine room is very important. So like on the Spurs game, we had Fred complementing the pair, and then whereas against Sheffield United, you had a more experienced Matic complementing Bruno and Paul. So that was the difference. I feel like Fred is fantastic in some games, but yesterday against a team that is very stubborn, hard to break down, very defensive, you need people like Matic to bring the ball and run around. Whereas you give the easy job to these two creative players to seal the ball and just play passes. Whereas Matic was running all over. So engine room must be very important, and with the addition of Bruno, it's just all the more you can tell that we're gonna have a good season moving forward. I mean, I'm very optimistic because we still have FA Cup to challenge. I mean, I would want to see Ole win. Personally, as a fan, I would want to see him win something in his first full season as a permanent manager.
But is it
And
what
we
you
have-
expect? Yeah. Is it what you expect for Bruno and Pogba?
I mean, it's brewing, right? It's like now the recipe is coming together. You can tell that the team can do well because these two are complementing each other in many ways. Yesterday for that game against Sheffield, it was like a stroll in a park because I think after conceding the second goal, Sheffield just switched off because there was no need to play anymore and they don't need to challenge and try to get a goal or two because that's the thing. They are behind United. They're previously a championship side. They are not competing for anything this season. So they'll probably be happy within the top 10 ranking.
Yeah, I
I
think
mean,
they
they
were
will try
traumatized.
for
They
Euro. Yeah,
were
they will try
traumatized
for
by the
Euro.
game against Villa. Sorry, because they were
Yeah.
robbed of the goal.
The goal.
The goal lah.
With
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
Fernandes.
goal
that's the thing.
VAR failed.
Like the motivation must be there, and I feel like with Bruno, and then you've got Paul coming back from injury, and then Matic signing an extension. Then you got Fred who is showing up in games now, and then you've got Scott McTominay who's also someone who's going to put in the shift for you. So moving forward, like this season alone, we can compete for FA Cup, and then we're still in Euro, and then we've got young striker like Greenwood chipping in the goals. Rashford is back from injury, so there's a lot of things to hope for, and this is all happening only after we signed a player called Bruno. Like before that, it was like dark ages,
Makes
man.
a
Like,
difference, huh?
like during December, we were like in dark clouds. I was like, okay, this is done. We're done for this season. I mean,
Good for
we
you.
were like 8, 7, 5, 6. So it was just like it's just crazy. It was traumatizing. And then when we bought him, and I mean, there was a crazy stat about him. The commentators will keep talking about it. It was since signing for United, he's played about 10 games now, and all 10 games United has never lost. And we are on a 12-game unbeaten run. De Gea made one save throughout the whole game. I think it's an off-target save also. So it was like it was just amazing how we controlled the game and dominated. So if these are the signs to look for, I think we should be able to have a good season and finish well.
But De
So
Gea also other games also he usually make one save. That's all goal I think.
I mean, it's harsh criticism, like because
Mm.
the Spurs game, I don't know what the hell he was thinking, because
Okay.
I'm not an expert, but then I can tell you shouldn't punch the ball, you should try to save, because or push the ball away. I mean, Zul can back me up. Like you've seen goalkeeper training. A goalkeeper only punches the ball if it's like corner, because you do not want to touch and then go rebound and then a
Sleep.
striker or an own goal, right? So
Mm.
you want to push it as far as possible. So you need the inertia of the punch. Well, that game, and he was already in the correct direction. He was already diving correct direction. All he has to do is push. But then he go and one fist was open, one fist was punch. I was like, okay, he
That one
kalang
is
kabut
combo
lah.
lah. He
So he kalang kabut lah. So I feel like it was very harsh on him, because in that same game he dived and then he saved a fantastic. I mean, he did a fantastic save. So it's just harsh, because who doesn't make mistake? I mean, to me, he's still top 3 goalkeepers in the world.
Roy Keane says he overrated. Roy Keane says
Roy Keane is
overrated.
He's
So I don't know.
overrated. He's overrated because he can tell he's overrated because he knows that De Gea is like the top earner in the club. He's earning more than anybody else, because he's just signed a new deal, 300k a week. So in terms of money, of course you have to criticize. We should be criticizing Alexis Sanchez because we paid him like crazy amount of money. He's not even playing for us.
Arsenal is clapping. Arsenal is happy you took Sanchez off their books.
That's why I tell you. We suffered before January. The moment we kick things off, good times start to shine.
With De Gea, right, and with the current team that you see, so you are so enthusiastic and you see a bright future, right? Next season, would you be confident? How confident are you that Man U will challenge Liverpool?
If you never sign anybody,
I think I'm hoping we have one more signing, which is always rumored to be Sancho. If he comes in, then we will have like that kind of Man City status, because we bought someone expensive. But if you took
Man City status,
I mean in terms of like having top quality players, because everyone else has been proving, like when we bought Aaron Wan-Bissaka, you never think that this guy is like world class, you know what I mean? But you see throughout the whole season, it's the same thing. If you can compare it to Trent Alexander-Arnold.
I like this comparison.
No, I mean both players are England right backs. Right, they are. One is playing for Liverpool, one is playing for United now. And when we signed him, and I was like thinking, who's this Bissaka spider, all this kind of bullshit. But then yesterday, he's not technically gifted. We can tell he's not technically gifted. He tackles well, really like macam spider. But the quality that makes him world class is his never die attitude. Like, you don't see world class as in skills, like talent. You see it in quality, like whether he wants to run for the ball and like just kejar everybody and then try to hustle the ball away. And in that sense, we signed that. We signed a world class player. Then we signed a young player like Daniel James, who is hardworking. He will also chase the ball, and he's just a speedy Gonzalez on the pitch. He gives you an extra dimension. So we've got good buys. So if we were to go and get Sancho, then it's going to be like a mega deal. We're talking about 100 million and something like that. So I think if we're going to sign a Sancho, personally, I don't think we need Sancho. I think we need someone else to, replace Matic. We should be looking at the engine room most probably, because I feel like on the flanks we will have enough players, because we've got young players like this Chong. Greenwood yesterday played on the wing with Rashford complementing on the other. So when you talk about the front three or on the wings, we have sufficient backup, I feel. So we shouldn't be concentrating on that, but we can concentrate on midfield because Matic is probably a one more season kind of guy. Then you have Mata leaving, you've got Scott in the central midfield. So Scott, Fred, and then Paul and Bruno. So you've got 4 people. So you there's no other big names in that mix already.
But you haven't answered the question.
Yeah, that's why. You're PhD. You talk, but never answer the question.
I giving you my objective
How confident?
answer lah.
How confident are you?
How confident are you? Yeah,
My
how
confidence
confident are
is if we get Sancho, then I easily see us in the top 2.